Hello and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. I'm so glad you found me here. My name's Hannah and I make a lot of videos exposing scammy stuff on the internet. And in a lot of my videos, I talk particularly about multi-level marketing companies and how they closely resemble pyramid schemes. And in this series, MLM Top Fails, I showcase a lot of things that people in MLMs will post on social media, and we talk about them, we debunk them. I explain to you how they're problematic or they're misleading or they're manipulative so that hopefully when you're on social media yourself, you know the red flags, you know what to look for, you know how to spot a scam a mile away so that you can protect yourself. It's pretty wild to me that we're already up to the 72nd video in this series. You would think that we would run out of content to talk about, honestly, but we don't. It is never ending, it's ever evolving, and there's things in this video today that I've never seen before in my 2.5 years of making this content. But before we jump into the top fails, I'm so excited to tell you about the sponsor of today's video, Factor. Factor is a super convenient, super delicious way to meet your nutrition goals by delivering fresh, never frozen, dietitian-approved meals right to your doorstep. You can choose from different meal plans such as keto, calorie smart, vegan, and veggie, or you can be like me and just get the chef's choice plan to try a little bit of everything because it's all great. You really can't go wrong. This week I got jalapeno lime cheddar chicken, chorizo chili, vegetarian tamale bowl, just to name a few. I also got some more of their wellness shots. These are a blend of fruits, veggies, and spices, and they're great for that quick shot of extra vitamins and antioxidants. And they're really refreshing. I love to have one of these right after a meal. My favorite is the Cayenne Cleanse one. It's a little sweet, it's a little spicy, it's a great palate cleanser. Factor is the perfect solution if you're looking for fast upscale meals done easily. Their team of chefs do all the meal prep for you. It comes pre-prepared, you just pop it in the microwave and it's done in 2 minutes. Or if you've got the time, these are great to heat up in the oven too, but either way, there's no grocery shopping, there's no prep, there's no cooking, there's no mess. There's over 35 options to choose from each week and the subscription is flexible to meet your needs. My husband and I enjoy Factor meals on work days for lunches, and we found that 6 meals a week is perfect for us, but the plans range from 6 to 18 meals a week, so you can pick whatever works best for you, and you can always pause or reschedule your deliveries anytime. If you'd like to simplify your meal times with Factor, you can head to factor75.com or click the link in the description box below and use my code HannahAlonzo50. This is going to give you 50% off your first box, and they're now offering free wellness shots for life. You'll get 2 free wellness shots from the 3 available flavors for every order while you're an active subscriber. Again, that's factor75.com and code HannahAlonzo50 for 50% off your first box plus free wellness shots for life. Thank you, Factor, for your support of the channel. Now let's get into these top fails. This first video is somebody that's actually not in an MLM company as far as I can tell. She's running a different kind of scam that has a lot of the same hallmarks of an MLM, so I wanted to showcase it here because I think it still fits in really nicely. Let's watch it first and then I'll break it down.
I saw a girl who was making $250,000 in her business a month. And I thought, wow. And then I saw another one who was making $400,000 a month. And I went, wow. And then all of a sudden, all these people in my stratosphere started showing me what was possible. $500,000, $600,000, $1 million a month, $3 million a month. And I was like, wow. And in my body, it never felt out of reach. It just immediately was like, well, you need to go help more people. It's never how can I make more or how can I reach that number? How can I help more people? And at the time when I was seeing that, I was probably making about $30,000 a month in my business. And I shit you not, in the last 20 days, I've brought in $324,000. And I've helped so many people.
First and foremost, I truly can't think of anything more cringy than recording yourself crying about how wealthy you are and then posting it on the internet. I want to crawl into a hole and die of embarrassment for her. Call me a hater all you want, but you have to admit that at the very least, this is tacky. People who are truly wealthy or comfortable with the amount of money they make don't do stuff like this. Why would they? The only reason that she's posting this video is to showcase how wealthy she is so that she can sell you a course on how you can become wealthy too. Yes, that's right. right? This is just a money-making scheme. This is what I call the scam of course creation. If you remember my video about master resale rights that I posted a few months ago, this kind of falls under that category. I don't think this person is doing master resale rights specifically, but she's engaging in the world of what I call scam mentorship, scam coaching, scam courses, where that she claims to hold all the secrets of the trade on how to be a successful business owner, and she promises to teach you how you can be successful too if you pay her $1,000 a year to become a member of her coaching community, as she calls it. She is one of the thousands of people on social media right now that is selling courses, teaching other people how to also sell courses. This sounds confusing, I know, but there's a whole corner of the internet dedicated to like these boss babe hustle culture girlies where everything they're posting really closely resembles somebody who's stuck in an MLM company as far as like the income claims and the lifestyle claims go. But instead of selling an MLM product, what they're doing is they're selling courses claiming to teach you how to become rich and successful. These courses are all about mindset and content creation and attraction marketing and portraying a life that other people are interested in so that they will buy your course so they can live the same way you're portraying to live. It is a complete scam in my opinion. Coincidentally, as I was preparing for this video, I already knew I was going to be including this in here. It just so happened that one of my viewers sent me a satire video from a creator called Life with EVK, I believe is how you pronounce it. And it just pokes fun at this entire situation perfectly. So I wanted to show this to you too.
I make $80,000 on Instagram every month, and let me tell you how. First, I make videos claiming that I make $80,000 on Instagram. Then I create a course on how I make that money, which is super unrelatable and unobtainable, but I tell you that dreams can come true. Finally, you buy the course and I make money. Follow me for more scamming tips and tricks.
I love this so much because it brings up a really good point. These financial gurus or these course creators or whatever, they might be flat out lying about how much money they make. We have no way to know because in order to make an income, they need to sell the course. It's kind of a chicken or the egg type situation. Like, did you sell the courses and then you made all this money and now you're posting about it? Or did you have to lie about how much money you were making to be able to sell the course, to be able to make it desirable enough that people will actually buy it? And then you start making money. It's so easy to just make up a number and post it on the internet because no one knows any better. You don't have to prove these things. Nobody's out here posting photos of their bank statements, right? So this person, if she is telling the truth about her income, is extremely wealthy. $324,000 in a 20-day period is unbelievable. It's like Monopoly money in my eyes. It doesn't even make sense. I can't comprehend what that looks like. But if what she's saying is true and she really made that much money, then she's so wealthy because she's at the top of her own pyramid scheme, essentially. Making money off of other people who are also trying to make money doing the exact same thing you're doing. That hurts my brain. That doesn't make logical sense. This would be like if I owned a specialty ice cream shop and I had all these secret ingredients and secret recipes and all these things that made my ice cream shop extremely special and rare. And then as kind of a cash grab or a money-making scheme, what I could do is I could create a course all about my trade secrets and my secret recipes and ingredients. And I could sell it off to other ice cream shop owners so that they can level up their businesses. But then before you know it, there's all these ice cream shops popping up everywhere and they're all selling the same thing. And their flavors and recipes aren't that unique anymore, so it's not very special anymore. And at some point you've hit market saturation where there is no more value to your course, there's no more value to these recipes, and nobody's interested in buying any of it anymore because it's everywhere. That's called a pyramid scheme. That's what makes this a money-making scam, where you buy into the money-making opportunity, but you have to be one of the first people to do it or else there's no money to be made. She made $324,000 in the past 20 days because she apparently found 324 people who signed up for her $1,000 coaching community. That's basically what happened. She duped a few hundred people into paying for her secrets, and that's how she makes an income. But at some point, there is a market saturation level here. At some point, everyone's bought your course, and at some point, everyone else is making their own courses, and nobody wants it anymore. There's going to come a point where this is not lucrative anymore. And then to top it all off, she calls all of this helping people. She starts to make herself cry for this video, which, by the way, not a tear was shed. She pulled one of these where she took off her glasses and she blotted her eyes. Oh, give it a couple sniffles. She's attempting to cry because she's just so overwhelmed with emotion with how many lives she's changing and how she's reaching so many new people to give this incredible gift of an opportunity. Sounds like an MLM, huh? Sounds like a pyramid scheme. She also says in her reel that it's not about the money, it's about helping people. Girl, please be honest with yourself right now. This is about the money and the money only. You know that, I know that, we all know that. Stop trying to fake it. I know this clip isn't regarding an MLM specifically, but there is so much overlap that I want you to be aware of this new phenomenon on social media where people are trying to sell courses and secrets. If this is the first time you're learning about it, keep an eye out because now I'm sure it's going to be everywhere you look when you're on social media. Please remember that people don't just get online and start boasting about how rich they are all the time unless they have something to sell you, unless they're trying to portray a certain lifestyle that they want you to buy into. So please beware. The next thing I have for you is a reel from somebody in the MLM company Monat, and she has a very interesting and in my opinion problematic way of promoting these products. She's promoted them in one certain way for most of her time with the company, and then she had this major life event happen, and now since then everything related to Monat is connected back to this life event and exploiting it in a way. Her video says, "Hi, I'm Jen. I'm a wife to my favorite person in the world, Jordan. We have 4 beautiful kids and living the small town dream until his cancer diagnosis this month rocked our world. His type of cancer is directly linked to exposure to harmful ingredients. We've spent the last 12-ish years trying to make switches to cleaner ingredients, but the importance of it just increased a millionfold, and we have a long way to go. This feels so overwhelming, but one thing that has lifted a heavy weight off of my shoulders is having a one-stop shop for non-toxic beauty products. Our body care, skincare, hair care, wellness, and makeup are all clean and safe for us to use, and I'm forever thankful. If incorporating more non-toxic beauty products are important to you in 2024, I'm here to show you it doesn't have to be overwhelming. Follow along and let's clean things up together. First and foremost, I wish nothing but health and happiness for this family. I can't begin to imagine what that's like to get a diagnosis like that. I'm sure it feels earth-shattering in the moment, and I don't wish this upon anyone." Zeke is in the background showing his sympathy as well. From my viewpoint as an anti-MLM creator though, I see this as an exploitation of her husband's cancer diagnosis to sell Monat. After looking some more at her other videos, I found out that her husband was recently diagnosed with mesothelioma, and the cause for this kind of cancer is thought to be linked to asbestos exposure. So that's what she's referring to when she says in her reel that his cancer is linked to harmful ingredients, which is not wrong. Asbestos has been found in beauty products containing talcum powder. This is a real concern. We should be avoiding beauty products that contain talc. The thing about asbestos though is that you can be exposed to it in so many different places in your environment. It doesn't just come from beauty products. And for one, we don't have a way of knowing if asbestos exposure was the cause of his mesothelioma in this case, and if it was, we have no way of knowing when or how he came in contact with asbestos. So switching to beauty products without talc can't hurt, but it's also not a golden ticket to preventing mesothelioma. She admits in this reel that they've already been using products with cleaner ingredients for around 12 years, and I believe that she's been in Monat for 6 years. And unfortunately, he still got this diagnosis even though they've been using these safe products in their family for all of these years. Again, I want to be sensitive and show my respect for the fact that this family is dealing with a really difficult situation right now, and I wish them nothing but the best. But I also feel the need to point out that this type of content, this angle that she's taking, feels quite unethical, and it's meant to fearmonger people into buying Monat from her. Her husband was diagnosed with cancer right before Christmas of 2023, and she started using his diagnosis to promote Monat on December 26th, literally within days, and she hasn't stopped since. This is her new niche. This is her new sales angle that she's taking on. That Monat is the pinnacle of safe and healthy beauty products, and that you should make the switch to these safe products so that you can protect yourself against these kinds of diagnoses. She's not explicitly saying that using Monat can prevent cancer, obviously, but that's kind of what's implied. And I think that is so wrong. In the end of her reel, she's encouraging people to reach out to her if they'd like to switch to these non-toxic beauty products, essentially trying to make money off of the diagnosis. She's hoping that by sharing his health condition, she can create a sense of fear in her viewers that will ideally translate into sales. And I keep putting air quotes around safe and clean and non-toxic because these are just marketing buzzwords. They don't actually mean anything concrete. Monat products are still formulated full of chemicals, just not any chemicals that we found to be explicitly dangerous yet. In 2024, we know that talc is dangerous, and we know that ingredients like parabens and phthalates are dangerous, but luckily now there's a lot of products on the market that are formulated without these things. Of course, always check the label because they sneak them in there somewhere in some cases, and it is our responsibility to read the label and to know exactly what we're using. But what people in Monat like to do is they like to market this overarching image of the company that it's safe and it's non-toxic to give people comfort in shopping with them. And it's true that Monat does not use talc in its products. products, so that's great. I guess in that regard, it is safe. It's safe from talc. But if you're worried about talc and asbestos exposure and mesothelioma, then you don't want to use talc, then you don't have to use Monate. There's plenty of other non-MLM options out there. And it feels so icky to me that her husband gets this devastating diagnosis and her first thought is she thinks in her mind, oh, I'm gonna go make content out of this so that I can promote my MLM products. This is not normal behavior. This is only something that people in MLMs will do. I've seen people exploit their child's ADHD to make sales, exploit their fertility issues for sales, and now we're exploiting cancer for sales. We can kind of just add this to the list of the unhinged ways that people will promote MLM products for money. Again, I wish her husband nothing but the best with his battle with cancer and that he makes a full recovery. I also wish that she would stop putting out content like this. On this same note as this exploiting cancer for money kind of thing, here's another example of somebody exploiting their family member for sales. Before I show it to you, trigger warning for graphic images of an injury. This is an extremely large Instagram account with over 500,000 followers dedicated to basically creating family content surrounding their son with autism. That in itself is exploitative on so many levels. That is so wrong in my eyes. But the reason that this particular clip is making it into this video is because the family are reps for doTERRA essential oils. And they posted this video that their son with autism bit his father on the arm. And the purpose of this reel, I guess, is to show how they use the doTERRA essential oils to treat the wound. It looks like in these first few shots that bite is really fresh and he's putting tea tree oil on it. And then it swipes to another set of clips that appear to be filmed at a later date and the wound looks significantly worse. It's swollen, it's raised and red and bruised, it's bloodied still. I'm no medical professional, but to my untrained eye, this almost looks like it's heading towards an infection if it hasn't already. And they continue to add oils to it. They put copaiba and frankincense on it. This is one of the more shocking things I've seen recently. The oils are clearly not working. They're obviously not an effective treatment and they should never ever be putting essential oils on an open wound like this. This looks like it should be a hydrogen peroxide, neosporin, potentially antibiotics kind of injury, not a doTERRA essential oil injury. At this point, I feel like he's putting his health at risk by using doTERRA instead. It's such reckless information to be filming yourself doing this and then putting it on the internet suggesting that this is an okay treatment and that other people should do it too. Luckily, a lot of the comments on this post, there's over 1,000 of them, are all pointing this out and it doesn't seem like a lot of people are buying into this insanity, thank goodness. I think that anybody with eyes can see that this is a terrible course of treatment and that the wound is only getting worse. But I'm sickened at the purpose of this reel. I'm worried about the reason it even exists. To feature an injury given to you by your son with autism so that you can show how you ineffectively, mind you, treat it with doTERRA? Like, who thinks to do this? Again, it's not normal behavior. People in MLMs are the ones who think to do this. In the same way that someone might see their husband's cancer diagnosis as an opportunity, this human bite injury is now seen as an opportunity. It's so sick, it's so twisted, and again, it is not normal behavior. Next up, I have a photo for you. This is something that somebody in Lavelle posted to her Facebook, and it's supposedly showcasing the before and after results of their Gut Duo product or products. I'm not exactly sure what this is. And according to the person who sent this to me, this is at least the third MLM that this person has been involved with. She's been in both Monate and It Works previously. If you look closely, you can even see a bottle of Monate hair care on her bathroom counter here. But this photo is meant to promote Lavelle, a third MLM. But what's interesting about this photo and the reason that it was sent to me is that the text on this picture gives the impression that the top photo was taken last night before she took the Lavelle product and that the bottom photo was taken this morning. And the claim is perhaps that her bloating has reduced or she looks slimmer in the morning or something. But here's the issue. Everybody looks slimmer in the morning. You've had the whole night to rest and digest. You're not taking in any more food or water that might cause bloating. Your body has processed and eliminated that excess water weight, so you might wake up retaining less water typically. I'm sure that most people can relate to the experience of waking up looking a certain way, and then as the day goes on, your midsection expands and it bloats in response to your daily activities and the food that you're taking in. Waking up feeling a little more slim or a little less bloated than the night before is just a natural consequence of being a human. You don't need some kind of MLM supplement to achieve that. But this isn't even the biggest issue. Aside from that, here's the second, even larger issue here. I believe that these before and after photos are faked. Upon closer inspection, her hair is a dead giveaway. Riddle me this. If you twist your hair up into a bun with a scrunchie and then you go to sleep all night and then you wake up in the morning, how is your hair in the exact same position when you wake up? The bottom photo is significantly more blurry when you zoom into it, but look closely. There's at least least 4 markers here that tell me that her hair is exactly the same in the 2 photos. There's 2 little sprouts out the top of her bun, there's a wispy coming out the top of her bangs, and the way that her bangs curl on the ends here. I am very, very confident in saying that these 2 photos were taken minutes apart. I believe that she snapped the first photo, she changed shirts, she sucked in a little bit, took the second photo, and then called it miraculous results. I'd pretty much be willing to bet my life on it, honestly. For research purposes, here's what my hair looks like when I went to bed with it in a bun like hers with a scrunchie, and here's what it looked like when I woke up the next morning. It's so painfully obvious to anybody with hair that it would be impossible for these photos to be taken before and after a night of sleep. And the reason that all of this matters is because she's trying to sell a product, right? She's trying to make a claim about the effectiveness of these products, but her evidence, so to speak, with these photos is completely invalid. These are not real results. This is a lie. Why would somebody feel the need to lie about their MLM products? If it's so great, shouldn't you be able to let the results speak for themselves? What is the point of faking it? And of course, this does not just go for MLM products either. Okay, marketing photos for weight loss supplements have been exaggerated or altered or faked since the dawn of time. I think we all recognize that these kinds of images are misleading to say the least. But when I see examples like this where people in MLMs will blatantly lie about their products in a way that is so easily debunked, it makes you wonder what else they're lying about. Whether that be product claims or income claims or lifestyle claims. If she's willing to so obviously lie about something as simple as this, what else is she fabricating? What else are other people in the industry fabricating? As awful as this is to say, whenever I see somebody in an MLM posting something, I automatically assume that it's at least slightly faked in some way, if not a complete lie. Because when it all comes down to it, every single thing they're posting is a marketing ploy. It's an attempt to create that desire around their products and their lifestyle so that you get suckered into it, exactly like we saw in the very first clip of this video, where that lady very easily could have been lying about her income just to make it more appealing to you so that she can make money off of you. When your income is directly related to how many people you can convince to buy into it, of course you're going to stretch the truth. Of course you're going to try and make it seem better than it actually is. That is how they make money after all. So moral of the story, take everything with a grain of salt, because if an MLM rep can lie about something as obvious and blatant as this, I'm sure the lies and deception run so much deeper. Next up is an Instagram story from a woman in the MLM company Saint. That company sells makeup, and she's coming on her Instagram story to kind of announce her goal that she's going towards as far as earning this exclusive rewards trip with the company. And I think the information she's giving us is extremely telling.
Okay, so I'm doing something like super crazy. This is super different for me, and I'm just gonna go for it. If I fail, I fail, but I'm just gonna try. So with the Saint business that I am a part of, they have a rewards trip that you can earn, and it is really, really hard, like super hard. Like only, like I think like 20 girls typically qualify for it. It is insane work. This is probably like the work that I have to put into this, and just the work I have to do is going to be insane, and it's going to be really hard for me, but I'm going to do my best, and that's all I can do, right? So it's going to cut me off here in a second, but I'm just going to kind of explain to you what needs to be done for me to get there. So I kind of like did my math wrong for a second. So I added 5 more, so that's 2, 4, 6. I believe this is $6,000 right here or whatever, and so because I have to do at least like $5,742 a month for the next 6 months. So I just put it up to 6,000 just to like try and over exceed it, so I know I'm hitting it. But yeah, I believe I have to sell $5,742 a month for the next 6 months. So it is hard as hell, but I'm just gonna try it. I'm gonna just go for it, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, and it doesn't happen. So
she's saying that it is $6,000 per month in sales for the next 6 months if she wants to earn this trip. She's right. That is so hard, almost impossible for the average person in an MLM. Because think about it, how much money do you personally spend on makeup per month? When I was thinking about this for myself, I was thinking most months I don't spend any money at all on makeup because most of my products last me several months. I'm kind of on this cycle actually where like every 3 to 4 months I have to go repurchase all of my products at around the same time. I tend to run out of them on the same timeline. So for me, this ends up being about $100 every 3 or 4 months between my mascara, my brow gel, my foundation, and my concealer. Each of those is about $25 each. So I think it's safe to say for me, I would spend about $100 every few months. I know everybody is different. This is not a perfect example, but just hang with me. If I'm her customer, this means that I'm spending about $200 of makeup within a 6-month period. Now, now she needs to sell $36,000 worth of makeup in a 6-month period to earn this trip. So me, as one customer, I am barely making a dent in helping her achieve her goal. I'm a drop in the bucket. She would need to find 179 other customers just like me who will also spend $200 in a 6-month period if she wants to earn the trip. And people in Saint love to talk about how much longer lasting their makeup is too in comparison to other products you can buy at Ulta, Sephora, whatever. So if that's really the truth and your makeup lasts so much longer than everything else, then that doesn't really work in their favor as far as their regular customers go. You want people to come back to you and repurchase things over and over and over again really frequently, but that's not the case if your makeup is so wonderful and people only need to buy new products like once every 6 months or something, right? So if your existing customers are only purchasing a minimal amount of products in a 6-month period, then you're going to need more unique customers to fulfill those quotas. I know that the math is not perfect here, but I think it gives us an idea of exactly how unrealistic this all is. If she wants to earn this trip, that could mean that she needs literally hundreds of unique customers who all commit to spending literally hundreds of dollars on product. There is no way, not a chance, that this is attainable for most people in an MLM. I can't say that it's completely impossible, but it's certainly not likely. In her own words, she said that only around 20 people in the whole company earn this trip typically. And I would bet that those people are within the top ranks of the company and they have built this gargantuan network of customers below them to earn these quotas. So yeah, I would have to agree with her that she's gonna go for this, but it's going to be ridiculously difficult.
What you can do to like really help me achieve this is, color matches. If you need a color match, I can help you out, pick your colors, help you get your colors. If you need to buy anything at all, my link is in my bio. You can just click that and shop that anytime. And then that's like what you can do. You can always shop the link in my bio. That always helps me if you need, any help at all, like building your compact and you want to start, getting this makeup going for yourself. Just message me and I will get you started. So anything helps. Likes, comments, shares on here as well. So I'm really excited about this. This is like even getting me just like jittery, like talking about this right now and like me going for it. Like I'm really scared, but I'm just gonna try it and share the journey with you all. So as I get sales, I'm gonna take those post-it notes off and keep track of it as I go and share my progress with you guys. So I'm really excited. This is hard work, but I have put in, rolling on like 12, 13 years of my tattooing, and so that's hard work there. And so why can't I do it with my Saint business? So I'm gonna do it. So stick around and check this out and watch me try.
It's really standing out to me that she keeps calling this hard work. I don't doubt that it's incredibly difficult. We've already kind of addressed that. It's going to be a challenge to find enough customers to fulfill these sales quotas, but she keeps talking about it as if this is a goal that she can achieve if she just works hard enough and sets her mind to it and decides to go after it, which is an interesting mindset to have because remember that success in an MLM business model is not up to you whatsoever. Her success towards this goal is directly related to sales numbers, and to reach those numbers, you have to find customers, but you can't force people to become customers. You can try your best. You can do things that might increase your chances of those people buying stuff. Maybe you cold message strangers on social media. Maybe you're reaching out to past customers. Maybe you're approaching people in public spaces. You can set up a party where you're demoing the products to people in person, but none of this is guaranteed to result in a sale. The harsh reality is that she could work herself into the ground for the next 6 months with desperate attempts to sell this makeup, but her success is ultimately at the mercy of other people. This is something I get so hung up on when it comes to MLMs, is that these people truly believe that they're in control of their own success and that hard work equals good results. And it's just not true. That's not reality. And it's a lesson that a lot of people in MLMs have to learn the hard way. They don't understand how rigged this whole thing is until they give it their absolute all and then they still don't succeed. At no fault of their own. That's the important piece. It doesn't mean that they're failures. It doesn't mean they didn't work hard enough. It just means that the business model was designed for them to fail. It was designed for only the top 20 people to go on the trip or whatever. I'm going to call it now that this person does not earn the trip. And I hope that she knows that she's still valuable and worthy and a hard worker regardless, and that it is not her fault that she didn't earn it. And my prediction that she doesn't earn the trip is not at all a reflection of her and who she is as a person. It's a reflection of what I know to be true about the business model. The odds are stacked against her. They're not in her favor. And if she doesn't earn the trip, I hope she knows that it's not her fault. Next is an interesting series of Instagram stories posted by somebody in Monate. It says, the reason most people don't succeed in the network marketing industry is because they aren't willing to stick to it and ride out the slow season. They want to reap the harvest without the work. They want the fruit without the planting, weeding, and watering. Nothing worthwhile in life is just handed to you, and a network marketing business is no different. I've worked hard for almost 11 months to get here. The only reason my business is where it is today is because I don't let the $12 paychecks get me down. Admitting to getting $12 paychecks. Yikes. Sometimes my paychecks cover the mortgage. Last week it covered coffee. And I'm not discouraged or embarrassed about that. It doesn't make my business less legitimate. It doesn't mean I'm doing anything wrong. Having that level of discrepancy between paychecks is alarming. But that's the reality of it. As we just talked about, your success and your sales numbers ultimately are not up to you. So one week, if you've got lots of customers buying products, and that means a bigger paycheck for you. And then the next week, if nobody's buying anything, you might be getting a $12 paycheck instead. And that makes sense because these are weekly commissions checks, and those are not reliable or stable in the least. But that's what I want to make so clear, is that selling for an MLM is incredibly unpredictable and that it should not be relied upon for your only source of income. You never know how much money you're going to be bringing home at the end of the week, and that's got to be so stressful. So if you're going to be signing up for an MLM or any other commissions-based sales jobs, it's important that you recognize that and you understand what you're signing up for. I don't let my emotions dictate my actions. Is it easier to show up after a big paycheck? Heck yeah. But if I waited for that feel-good feeling to show up and put the work in, I would never get those paychecks. If you're waiting to make thousands of dollars before deeming this business legitimate enough to share about, you'll be waiting a while. Fast success is rarely sustainable. Consistency creates lasting results, but it takes time. And most people aren't okay with that. They want microwave results in a slow cooker industry. Okay, that's the first time I've heard that analogy. That's kind of clever. And to an extent, I can understand what she's trying to say. It takes time to build your network. It takes time to build that reliable customer base and to find new recruits. So in that regard, yes, it's not going to be instant money. It may take a lot of time to find enough people to add to your network. But this part about if you're waiting to make good money, you're going to be waiting a while, and then the part earlier about $12 paychecks is so telling. People join MLMs for a variety of reasons, and sometimes they get into it genuinely thinking that this is going to be their full-time job. And in my opinion, this kind of exposes how it should not be relied upon as a full-time job. Maybe for a select few people at the top of the pyramid who have big downlines and their network is already established, then it can be a full-time income for them. But for over 99% of people, being in an MLM is not worth their time. People expect to be paid at their job, all right? So waiting months and months and months to make good money and suffering through $12 paychecks is not going to cut it. Remember that MLMs don't pay you for your time and they don't pay you for your effort. It is completely disproportionate. You could quite literally work as part of the MLM for months or years and actually be losing money to the company because you're spending more of your own to stay active in the scheme than you're actually making back in commissions. This is what happens to the overwhelming majority of people who join an MLM company. So to say something like you're just going to have to work for a really, really long time without making any money and you're just going to have to be okay with that is really insulting. It's the truth, but it's still insulting. People deserve to be paid for their time. They deserve to be paid by the thing that is supposed to be their job. They don't have time to be dinking around cosplaying as business owners while their bank accounts are drained. And it's insulting to state that this is just the norm and this should be accepted and that you should just be okay with working for free because that's how it goes around here. I don't know what her goal was really with posting this, but all it does is confirm to me that MLMs are a very poor source of income and that they should not and cannot be relied upon as a job. And I think that people who join an MLM company should manage their expectations up front and recognize that this might be a little side hobby, a little side gig. Maybe you're making enough money to cover your weekly coffee or whatever. We should not be expecting that you're going to make a full-time income out of it because you're just not. And this last video is a clip that really piggybacks nicely off of the previous photos I just showed you because this is a different person, also in Monate, who is presenting a shockingly different narrative.
Our compensation plan is designed to make us up to $1 million a month. Now, what's going to stop you from going to get that? Nothing's stopping me. Why? Because I was already able to see what this business can do for me by looking at what this business has done for other people.
In the last section of this video, we had somebody in Monate saying that you should expect to struggle and you should expect to make $12 paychecks sometimes. And now we've got somebody in the same company saying that the compensation plan is designed for you to make $1 million a month. So which is it? Who's lying? I think she's lying, because if you look at the income disclosure statement from the company, not one single person in the whole company is making $1 million a month. The highest that anyone has earned is like $2.25 million for the whole year. And don't get me wrong, that is so much money, but this number represents literally one person who is at the very top of the pyramid, okay? One person in the whole company makes this amount of money, and it's because they're at the top of a pyramid scheme. But the numbers show us that the person at the top of the company is not even making $1 million a month. So how can you sit here and say that that's what the comp plan is designed to do? And let's not forget that 91% of people in the company are at the bottom rank, making a median annual income of $34 for the entire year. So hey, $12 paycheck girl is actually doing pretty good when you put it in that perspective. Some people are making $34 in the year and she made $12 in a week, so that's great. The point is, the Monate comp plan is not designed to make $1 million a month because it's never been done before in the 9+ years that the company's been operating. And I wanted to show you these two examples side by side because it exposes how everything in these companies is a facade. People will literally say anything. They will create whatever kind of narrative they want to fit their points. It is truly wild. I also think of this from the perspective of a bait and switch. It's so common for people to get sucked into an MLM scheme because they see videos like this where they hear that there's some incredible earning potential and that they're going to make all this money and that you can make $1 million a month, only for them to join and then be told by people in the company, oh yeah, see, the money doesn't actually come that easy. You're not going to be making any good money for a while, but just stick with it and we promise something good will come of it eventually. This is the prime example of how people get duped and manipulated into thinking that MLMs are a good idea, and how they often don't realize how hard it is to actually make any money until they're already stuck in it. So I think the juxtaposition of these two examples from these two different people in the exact same company is highly fascinating. And it totally exposes the bait and switch that can happen when somebody has one idea of what this MLM opportunity can be from the outside, and then once you're in it, you realize this is not at all reality and that you don't actually make any money. And with that, my friends, it's everything I have to show you for today's top fails video. I always like to extend a big thank you to everyone who sent me the clips. In most cases, the things I feature in these top fails videos are things I never would have come across on my own, so I'm very, very grateful for those who take the time to send me stuff. And in saying that, if you see anything on social media you think would be a great fit for a top fails video, you can check out the instructions in the description box of any one of my videos. There's step-by-step details on exactly how to send that to me. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you, and I'll see you in my next one real soon.